Check, we're good.
Shalom.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is Brother Nathan.
It's the brother Banat.
I'm coming at you with a quick little on location, little lesson through the Spirit. So, Lord willing, I don't want AHTHA that this lesson will be edifying, comforting, and exhorting to the hopeful elect of Israel. That's right,
man. We up here, a little overwatch, you know, and just like the watchman, you know, up on that high tower, overlooking the city, overlooking the destruction to come, giving out that warning.
That's right. That's right. So before we begin, we're going to face the east here and give all honor, glory, and praises unto our power. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. We want to give double honors to the head apostles, to the elders, bishops, and teachers of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well across the four winds with sound doctrine, to the like-minded brothers, the Akim, who are under the umbrella, pushing this truth and sincerity, all in one accord, risking your lives and freedoms to do so. Shalom. Peace be unto you and your households. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, House of David, Tabernacle of David, consisting of the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Haitians, West Indians, and Israelite foreigners who are scattered abroad, those who derive from the seed line of our forefather Jacob through Abraham and Isaac. You make up the 12 tribes of Israel that the Bible speaks of. May you seek repentance and salvation in these latter days. All right, so, you know, gearing up for war, gears of war, all right? A lot of things are happening. A lot of things pertaining to prophecy. You know, a lot of things are on the move, okay?
Kind of Babylon steady on the decline, you know, then continuing to warn of and more inflation, turning into that hyperinflation. I was hearing a report earlier today talking about prepare for the thing to really take off in the next upcoming past 13 days. You know, talking about after this quote-unquote 4th of July weekend that you're really going to see the people start to really take that hit due to hyperinflation or inflation.
That's right. So that the inflation that's soon to be hyperinflation. Again.
And this is spiritual, man. You saw that video of you know, Joe Biden, you know, riding his bike. He stopped to talk to some reporters, man. He freaking fell off his bike, man. Fell onto the ground, and you know that's a symbol of you know, Babylon is falling. You know. That's a spiritual thing for the brothers and the sisters out there to see. So, you know, that just gives us more and more, you know, faith through the Spirit that, you know, that we're doing the right thing by laboring for YAHAWASHI and to, you know, to send out the warning, be doing this work for the ministry.
That's right. So just to just kick off, you know what I mean, just getting into the scriptures. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. It says, and this red letter, Hamashiach Yahawashi speaking. Okay, this is Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. That's right, and that's where we're at, you know, in these prophecies. You know, we're seeing earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing these wars and rumors of wars, pestilences, the beginning of great famine. You know, beginning of great death. Okay, we're seeing these things take place, but again, the end is not yet. Okay,
you got cities with no water right now. Like there's that one city in Texas, Slovakia. I can't remember what the city is, but they've been dealing with like a power shutdown, so they ain't got no water. The whole city, man.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Exactly, a lot of these pumps. Okay, a lot of these things are ran off of electricity. So when there's brownouts and/or blackouts, okay, these power grids go down. Power grid failures. We saw in Australia just yesterday. There was a huge fire at one of their plants, you know, affecting the power grids over there. And the same thing, you know, that could happen here. EMP attack, so on and so forth. These quote-unquote cyber attacks that could take place, you know, and there's already a lot of, you know, a lot of activity as far as that goes. You know, they're kind of foreshadowing, you know, in their own way, the attacks, you know, on these different type of plants. And of course, we've seen that over the years, you know, through government, you know, websites and whatnot. You'll see that they have a lot of you know, information regarding these cyber attacks on different natural, you know, quote unquote resources.
And you know, the type of emergency management, you know, FEMA, things like that, entities like that, that are designed for emergency disaster and emergency management. They have no, you know, no control when it comes to something like a blackout, man. Like when it comes to a blackout, there's no setup, there's no structure to how they could deal with that problem, you know. There's things that they have in order to, when it's responding to fire, earthquakes, shootings, things like that. But when it comes to something like a blackout, they're up shit's creek without a paddle, you know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you know, a lot of these things are taking place and manifesting themselves through the power of YAHAWASHI. But also, again, being the main point of this lesson, you know, the theme really behind it is gears of war. A lot of countries are gearing up for war, and the pieces are moving. The line in the sand is being drawn.
I got a precept to back that up. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 22, and it reads, "A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction." And that sound, you know, those rumors of war, like the Aqua is bringing out, you know, YAHAWASHI saying this, you know, rumors of war, you know, that the end is near, but it's not come yet, because we're still waiting on certain prophecies, like the, you know, that MOTB to come out, man.
Yep, that's right.
And then the third woe will come shortly after.
Yep.
But I'm gonna continue with Jeremiah 50 and 23. It says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among nations?"
That's right. Ultimately, exactly that hammer of the earth, you know, Babylon, making all these countries drink from the wine of her wrath.
The you know, the head of the beast, man. You know, Babylon being that great whore riding upon the beast.
Yep, that's right.
In Babylon, and it's gonna be cut asunder and broken by the spirit of YAHAWASHI, man.
That's right, man. Heavenly Father, in the you know, days to come, man, ultimately it's gonna be them thermonuclear hypersonic missiles gonna be coming and hitting Babylon along with that laser chariot fire. Okay, and this place is gonna be made utterly desolate.
I'm gonna continue with Jeremiah 50 and 24. "I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Adawan, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua." That's right. He's laid that snare, that trap, and you know, Esau and these you know, people these world leaders that are following Esau of Edom are taking the bait, man. They're falling right into the trap that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua laid up for them, man. You know, they think that it's of their own mind. You know, they think that they're progressing with their NWO, with that fourth industrial revolution, you know, merging man and machine and whatnot. They think that they could live forever, man, have power forever. But the Adawan Yahweh, he's setting them up for that great fall, man.
That's right. That's right.
And because they have striven against the Adawan Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, and against his people, man, against the Israelites.
That's right. That's right. Esau's traps, you know, that blessing of the sword. Ultimately, man, that snare, okay, that cunning hunter, that fowler, man, he's going to be caught up in those traps. Man.
Exactly. Like the scriptures say, I've made them to fall upon their own sword, you know?
That's right, man. So it's soon to come, and we're seeing that, you know, we're seeing the manifestation of that through the spiritual lenses, you know, through the blessings and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know, we're seeing that you know, Esau and you know, these other heathen nations are bucking up against each other.
I gotta bring more of this out, man. You know, Jeremiah 50, there's a lot of meat on that bone, man. This is Jeremiah 50 and 25. "The Adawan Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation." And that's right, man. He's bringing out the whole tool bag, the whole trick bag, man. And Esau, he can't do nothing against the Adawan Yahweh, man. The whole armory, the weapons of his indignation being a righteous anger, right? So he's raising up the spirits of all these other countries to come up against Babylon, man. And he's making all the resources of Babylon desolate, man. You know, all these natural disasters, all these things that Esau is, you know, he may be having part of or may not. You know, all these things are a detriment to the society here in Babylon, man.
That's right. See all these processing plants different.
It's really weakening the power and the economy, the resources, everything, man. And I'm gonna continue here. And it says, come up, Salakia, Jeremiah 50:26, come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. And that's right, man. So those storehouses, you know, they're gonna be without very soon. Very soon. Cast her up as heaps and destroy her utterly. So you're gonna see nothing but the leftovers of destruction in these cities, in these major warehouses and whatnot. Like the brother said, you know, warehouses being burnt up, you know. Pretty soon there's going to be, due to hyperinflation, people raiding these places, just like there was in Brazil not too long ago, you know, other countries. And it's going to be destroyed, man. And it says, come up against her from the utmost border. So a lot of these imports that Babylon has relied on for so long, they're going to be without because of certain things, man. You know, certain sanctions coming back to bite Esau in the ass. Certain sanctions against Russia, other countries, man. I was reading earlier that Biden, he's mulling a decision right now when it comes to the tariffs with China that Trump had in place, you know, and all that is going to really mess up the trade negotiations, and the U.S. relies so heavily on that import from China. You know, if you look at everything you practically own and buy, it's imported, whether it be from China, Taiwan, Mexico, you know, all these other countries, man.
That's right, man.
And I'm gonna finish here with it says Jeremiah 50:27, slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, destruction, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. So the spirit of YAHAWASHI is visiting this place, man. You just saw all the thousands of those oxen and
the cattle over there in Kansas.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it was Kansas, right?
Yeah, in Kansas, Barak.
Yeah,
and they all mysteriously died, man, and they're blaming it on the heat. But you know, that's part of the prophecy being fulfilled, man. That's part of the righteous anger of YAHAWASHI.
That's right, man. Leading up to that, you know, 2nd Ezra 6:22 right here, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. That's right, man. So we're seeing that, you know, again, there's lack of, you know, I think it was a bill that Biden had just signed regarding all these major production companies and whatnot, that basically all the resources that have to, you know, that go into making baby formula, that those companies that produce that baby formula have the priority. I think it was like a wartime bill that was drawn up back during like World War II, I believe. But that same bill came into effect now because of the lack of that resource. So ultimately they reinstated it. So now the production, those companies that produce that material, you know, the baby formula and whatnot, yeah, they have priority over the, you know, the ingredients that go into that. So that's just one aspect of it, okay? But again, like the Aquana mentioned, you know, a lot of moving parts in this. So ultimately, you know, Babylon, America, the top importer of different resources from around the world, okay? Ultimately, all these things that are happening are you know, putting a major damper on that. A lot of these countries are having to, you know, look around, if you will, and try to make deals with other countries in order to maintain their steady availability of resources, man.
Khan, you know, the U.S.'s involvement with Taiwan and interfering with them and what they have going on with China, that's going to drastically impact the trade between China and the U.S., man. And you know, like we've seen, Biden, you know, he has no power to stand on, man. You know, he has no respect from all these other countries, and they look at the U.S. as weak right now. So really, you know, these people are putting their trust into something that you know, it's not gonna be good for them in the long run, man. You know, these people that are blindly out there thinking that things are gonna get better, thinking that they can continue to, you know, live carelessly. You know, and that just for me, you know, reminds me of that scripture. We were talking about women, but woe to the careless daughters, right?
God, that's right. That's right, man. You got a lot of these men out here too in Babylon, America, who are running around.
In that effeminate spirit, man.
Exactly. And the scriptures talk about that as well. You know, they'll be as women, you know, these Egyptians, man. And speaking of these Babylonians, man. You know?
And that's the way Esau has set it up, man, to where, you know, you got the modern day lifestyle out here in Babylon, and, you know, nobody can really fend for themselves, man. Everybody has to rely off of Esau and the system to live by, man. You know, no skills to survive on their own. Shit, a lot of people don't know even how to cook anymore, man. So imagine if you need to go hunt your own food, go, you know, just providing your own things, man. People are unable to do it.
That's right. So again, you know, main you know, focal point of this lesson really to be going into is you know, again, these countries that are gearing up for war. Okay, as we already know, the proxy war that's going on with you know, U.S. funneling money, weapons, technology, training, so on and so forth, to the efforts of the Ukrainian and Russian conflict / war that's going on. Okay, and so we're seeing the effects of that. We're seeing that it's dwindled, you know, down the availability of wheat, fertilizer, okay, and resources that come out of that country, or that area, I should say, both Russia and of course the oil, you know, that comes out of Russia and whatnot, okay, and the you know, sanctions that the U.S. and other countries are imposing on Russia and whatnot, and how it's affecting the economies around the world. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of things that are coming from that. But so this right here, you know, again, just want to bring out a few articles pertaining to the activities of Moab, okay, the so-called Chinese, okay, and how they're, you know, ultimately, you know, continuing to play a part, and they're going to ultimately play a major part in the downfall of Babylon, America, okay, because of course a lot of attention and focus is going into what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia and whatnot, okay, of course, but we know that, you know, North Korea testing missiles and so on and so forth, and China, same thing, their activities, you know, Iran, and
them officially uniting with Russia, man, you know, by creating that land bridge, and that's a declaration of them working together, man.
That's right, that land bridge, that's the first of its kind, really, and you know, I know we recently brought out that article.
And think about how big that is, because they're two of the top countries in the world when it comes to commerce and trade, when it comes to natural resources, man. So the rest of the EU, NATO, thinking that they can do without them, thinking that they can sanction against them, cut them off, man. They're really, you know, they're cutting off their nose despite their face.
Yeah, that's right. So just going into a few articles right here. Now, of course, this is from Insider Paper here from the 15th of June right here. This is the 2022, the year of our Lord, YAHAWASHI, turning up, as themed by Elder Apostle Tahar. Okay, China vowing support for Russia. Okay, so it says right here that President Xi Jinping, okay, of China, you know, saying, you know, assured Vladimir Putin, okay, of China's support on Russian sovereignty and security, okay, leading Washington to warn Beijing it risks ending up on the wrong side of history. Sorry, man, so you're saying, hey, man, sovereignty and security, right? So basically saying, hey, monetary resources, you know, food, whatever it is, you know, hey, it's security, of course. So these countries that are saying that their security and their national interests are being threatened, man, okay, ultimately that's going to lead them, provoke them to taking military action. And of course, when we've seen that, you know, we know that, you know, with Russia's recent declaration talking about, hey, it'll only take 4, what is it, Satan missiles? Is that what they call them?
Yeah, to destroy
the west and east coast of the United States.
Oh, Khan, they're talking about a few weeks back about how easy it would be for them to take out the UK.
Khan, exactly, right? So going into further into this article, it says China is quote unquote willing to continue to offer mutual support to Russia on issues concerning core interests and major concerns such as sovereignty and security, right? Okay, so yeah, man, it says pray, and the president of China Okay, went on to praise the quote-unquote good momentum of development and bilateral relations since the start of the year, okay, in the face of global turmoil and changes. All right, so he's praising their developing relationships, all right? And again, like the Akbana mentioned, you know, just recently they created that land bridge, you know, in between that connects China and Russia, right? And that's the first of its kind. So, you know, these, you know, that's just one aspect, okay? You know, just, but going into another article recently, okay, this is from RFA.org. It says Chinese leader Xi Jinping signs new rules governing quote-unquote non-war military operations. Okay, so it says sign a directive allowing quote-unquote non-war uses of the military, prompting concerns that Beijing may be gearing up to invade the democratic island of Taiwan under the guise of a special operation not classified as war. That's right, man. So they may be, you know, just making moves like that. Okay, they have already stated, you know, a lot of things, you know, regarding what's going on with. In fact, I might as well just bring that out as well. Regarding the Taiwanese Strait. Okay, we know that Joe Biden has recently just visited the South Pacific, quote unquote, you know, Japan, Taiwan, and whatnot. Okay, and actually Japan, just to kind of back that up a little further, Japan recently had their prime minister, I believe, take on join a NATO meeting. Okay, he's also the first. That's the first time, you know, a representative like that of that level was at a NATO meeting. Okay, so then they fear that the you know, that the actions, okay, what's going on is ultimately, you know, what's going on in the Ukraine and whatnot is ultimately going to affect East Asia. So you got him taking a stance there. Okay, but just right here, so recently you have the Chinese. Okay, so this is from the Taipei Times. Okay, so I believe that's in Taiwan. Okay, and coming out with an article. Now recently, you know, this right here goes into China, you know, taking claim of the Taiwanese Strait, claiming that it's not international waters. Okay, because you got the U.S., you got other countries, Canada, the UK, you got a lot of activity, you know, warships being brought in the area, military exercises, so on and so forth. Okay, so, you know, you got the Chinese imposing their will, saying, hey, man, this ain't international waters, man. You entering our territory, man. And they're feeling threatened. Okay, they're saying that their security is being destabilized, if you will, you know. So it says here, yeah, China has long asserted that the Taiwan Strait is part of its exclusive economic zone and takes the view that there are limits to the activities of foreign military vessels in those waters. Although China regularly protests U.S. military moves in the Taiwan Strait, the legal status of the waters had never previously been a talking point in meetings with U.S. officials. Okay, so again, you know, you got these people that are kind of like claiming something that again, hey, Chinese are claiming that as their own. The U.S. is saying otherwise, right?
Yeah, it's kind of that gray area, man. So that's how war games really get started, man.
Yeah.
When it comes to that gray area.
Right. So you get these. Says right here, the United States. You know, from a Pentagon, from a Pentagon official, says the United States will continue to fly, sail, and operate wherever international law allows, and that includes transiting through the Taiwanese Strait. Hey man, so they're saying, okay, well, yeah, you're claiming that's yours, but we're still gonna do our thing. We're still gonna go through there, and hey man, it is what it is, right? So it says down here further now. Okay, now this is from a Chinese official. Okay, so this one says, if quote unquote, if anyone dares to secede Taiwan from China, we will not hesitate to fight. Woo! Hey man, we will not hesitate to fight. All right, so they're already back in Russia, right? But they're saying, hey, when it comes to Taiwan,
giving that stern warning, man. And who do you think that warning is to? You know, they're talking directly to the U.S., man, talking to Babylon here.
Yep, that's right. It says, quote, goes on to say, quote unquote, we will fight at all costs and we will fight to the very end. This is the only choice for China.
This is the only choice, man. Yeah, you know Moab coming with that kamikaze spirit, man, to where they're gonna fight to the death, man.
That's right. That's right, yeah. And then, of course, you get the U.S. who's backing Taiwan, and they're kind of building them up, if you will, you know, kind of reassuring them, you're like, hey, you know, don't worry about that. We got you, all right? Yeah, we got you, man. We'll take care of you. We'll back you up. You know?
Yeah, exactly. They know that they got Russia behind them. They got North Korea that will link up with them. And, you know, you're trying to come in and to their court, man, you know? Because really, the U.S. may have little embassies and military stations, you know, marine stations out there in Japan and whatnot. That's why they got the president of Japan, you know, going to the meetings over there. Would you say what meeting it was at the Japan?
Oh, the NATO meeting?
The NATO meeting, yeah.
And the G7, I believe, one of the G7 meetings.
Because the U.S. got all those military bases, you know. I believe they got a major one, marine station and what is it, Nagasaki? Right over there in Japan.
Yeah.
So they've got a major base over there. So basically, that's where the U.S.'s reach is of Taiwan. But it's not enough, man. You know, you're playing on their court.
Yep, exactly, man. So going into another article here from Reuters, okay? Speaking of the same, you know, matter regarding the international waters, right? And between China and Taiwan, the Taiwan Strait. It says, in recent years, U.S. warships, and on occasion, those from allied nations, such as Britain and Canada, have sailed through the strait, drawing Beijing's anger. Okay, so, yeah, provoking them once again. Coming too close for comfort, right? On Monday, China's foreign ministry said the country, quote unquote, has sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction over the Taiwan Strait. Right? Okay, so now it says right here, quote unquote, it is a false claim when the certain countries call the Taiwan Strait international waters in order to find a pretext for manipulating issues related to Taiwan and threatening China's sovereignty and security. Okay, so that's from a spokesman from the Chinese foreign ministry, right? So threatening their sovereignty and security, right? So what do you think they're gonna do when it comes to security threat?
And that sovereignty is based from the Google definition is jurisdiction, supreme power or authority.
Yep, exactly, man. So you're threatening someone's supreme power, that authority, their jurisdiction. You coming into their neighborhood, you trying to bully them on their own block. Especially with Babylon being brought to, you know, knocked off that high horse, if you will. Okay, Babylon, America being brought, you know, brought to that low estate, man. You know, as the scriptures talk about, I believe it's in the book of Obadiah, you know, becoming small amongst the heathen. You know, so going into it now on the other side of things, you know, speaking from the Taiwanese perspective, okay, from their ministry, quote unquote, the Taiwan Strait is international waters, and the waters outside of territorial waters are subject to the freedom of the high seas principle of international law. Okay, so right here it says that we understand and support the U.S. freedom of navigation missions, contribution to promoting regional peace and stability. All right, so saying, okay, yeah, we support the U.S. and what they're doing. We support this going on because, hey, it's international waters, right? So they're taking that stance of like, okay, yeah, we're going to go along with what everyone else is saying. And ultimately, it ain't good when it comes to their relations with China, of course, because they're still claiming that land and that area, right? So, of course, and what's this leading up to? Okay, well, recently we had the Solomon Islands, okay, make a deal with China. Okay, so this was an article released from, I believe it's 9news.com. Okay, now it goes into, it says China, quote unquote, one step closer to Pacific Island base after Xi expands military powers, right? So there are reports that, you know, they are close to establishing a military base in the Solomon Islands. Okay. So it says right here, yes, state-backed Chinese media says Xi Jinping, the president, had signed new trial guidelines that allowed for Chinese, quote-unquote, armed forces operations that were not warfare. All right, okay, so that went to effect just in the past couple of days here. All right, so, yeah, it says China is laying the groundwork for a military base in the Solomon Islands, something it could establish quite quickly. That's right, man. So they're taking a page, Slovakia. They're taking a page out of Babylon's book, man. Okay, they're taking a page out of the book of Babylon, America. They, you know, who has all these military bases, embassies, you know, military might, if you will, all around the world. So,
and they know that the U.S. has a lot of military structure down there in Australia. So they're countering that by having something close by in the Solomon Islands, man.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, they're just, yeah, it says here to kind of sum it up here. Yeah, it says it shows China is taking a more proactive, more combative approach, okay, when it comes to this, man. So, exactly. They're taking these, you know, they're making moves, man. It's their strategy. They're taking a page out of Babylon's book, man. You know, they have a lot of dealings with a lot of countries all throughout the world. All right, and you know, just to back that up even further, and Slovakia for, you know, just for edification's sake. Okay, we're gonna go into a few things right here. This is from whitecase.com. Okay, so real quick, it says Chinese companies have helped. This is also ties into what recently was discovered in Uganda, down in Africa, where they discovered trillions, with a T, trillions of dollars worth of gold, right? Okay, so it says right here, Chinese companies have helped African countries to build and upgrade more than 10,000 kilometers of railways, nearly 100,000 kilometers of highways, nearly 1,000 bridges, 100 ports, 66,000 kilometers of power transmission and distribution network, 120,000 megawatts of installed power generating capacity, a 150,000 kilometer communications network, and a network service covering nearly 700 million users, user terminals, right? So of course, but they also are using these Chinese companies, right? It says by 2017, it was estimated that about 10,000 Chinese companies were active on the continent, right? So they're getting all these contracts moved into different African states and nations, okay? And they're funneling in these Chinese companies to do the work. So they're building themselves up while spreading, you know, that power, if you will, okay? They're getting all these government contracts and whatnot, and they're tying a lot of things into it, policies, and ultimately they're one-upping all these countries, man, all these nations, to where ultimately they can, even if certain debts aren't paid and whatnot, okay, they're gonna be able to move in military bases, take over airports, do different things like that, okay? They're gonna, so ultimately all these countries are virtually selling out to China, right? So China is gaining a foothold in a lot of these nations around the world, okay? And their dealings outside of, you know, not only just Africa, but many other areas of the world. Okay, so just real quick, going into this now, it says, yeah, it says since 2000, the year 2000, all the African nations except Eswatini have conducted formal intergovernment collaboration with China. Okay, and that's through the FOCAC. Okay, so I believe that that stands for the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. Okay, so virtually all African nations. Okay, so yeah, it says that even they're looking to make deals that go on, you know, future deals as well. And right here, just to kind of tie it all up, says between 2000 and 2019, Chinese financiers signed 1,141 loan commitments worth US dollars, $153 billion. Okay, and that's with African governments and their state-owned enterprises. Okay, so all of these countries, again, making these deals. Okay, so China has a lot of these countries in their back pocket. Okay, and they're ultimately going to use that, you know, so as little embassies and where they can ultimately launch military efforts. Okay, and just recently, just one last little snippet, one last little article right here from, this is from the globeandmail.com, okay, where China has launched high-tech aircraft carrier, Fujian, the country's third and most advanced, right? Okay, so yeah, man, this says right here that Beijing reached a major naval milestone Friday, launching the country's third aircraft carrier, one both designed and built in China, right? So this one with modern technology, okay, you know, It's coming from their, you know, their own military and their own designing and engineering and whatnot. So, you know, with the hypersonic missile technology, with these ICBMs, with all of the things that they have, okay, available in their arsenals, man. Okay, they have obviously it's going to be well advanced. Okay.
Yeah, man, and all this is, you know, this is all part of the chessboard. YAHAWASHI is moving all the pieces, man. You know, it's all part of the end, man. You know, the end being made manifest. But Bahashaam, I got a quick precept to bring on. This is Book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 10:10 says, "The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die."
Woo.
That's right. So the king of the whole earth right now is America, Babylon. You know, the elites that are running and controlling this thing. You know, but they're tomorrow they shall die, man. You know, because YAHAWASHI is bringing this place down, man. He's bringing destruction. He's bringing death to these Edomites and to the wicked, man. Those that are coming up against YAHAWASHI. And, you know, YAHAWASHI being the physician, man. You know, cutting off a long disease. Then that disease going to dis-ease, man. And who has the powers of the world had at dis-ease for hundreds and thousands of years now, man? That's the children of Israel, man. You know, us being in captivity for, you know, the past, you know, 600 years plus.
That's right.
But the physician, YAHAWASHI, he's coming to cut off that long disease, man. He's coming to bring sword and also peace for the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. So he that is king today, tomorrow he's gonna die, man. And YAHAWASHI, he's gonna be the king, man. He's the one with the crown, many crowns, because he's taking the power of all the kings of the earth, man.
Yep.
And he's giving power to Israel, starting with the elect.
That's right, man. So it just says that when I was reading earlier from Jeremiah 50, you know, talking about surrounding her, man, surrounding Babylon. You know what I mean? The country, the coming roundabout, roughly paraphrasing that, you know? So exactly. So they're using this type of technology and these different vantage points, if you will, or these launching points, right? So just to kind of finish up there, it says, yeah, unlike the other carriers, okay, the Fujian employs a catapult aircraft launch system similar to that used by the U.S. Navy. Such a system puts less stress on the aircraft, okay? And it says, and the use of a catapult means that the ship will be able to launch a broader variety of aircraft, which is necessary for China to be able to project naval power at a greater range. So that man says, quote unquote, these catapults allow aircraft deployed to carry a more extensive load of weapons in addition to external fuel tanks. So, you know.
That's right, man. So they're really using that to be more mobile with their military aircraft and weaponry, man. You know, being able to navigate through certain areas, you know, and let their shit off, so to speak, man.
Okay, that's right. So now I'm gonna flip over to the book of Jeremiah, and gonna go into Jeremiah chapter 48. Yeah, so this is Jeremiah 48. Start from the top at verse 1. It says, "Against Moab, thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the power of Israel, woe, destruction unto Nebo." Right, so Nebo being a deity, right? Okay, being a deity and also a location within Moab, right?
A mountain in Moab, kind of.
That's right, kind of. Yeah, it says, "For it is spoiled. Kiriathaim is confounded and taken. Mizgab is confounded and dismayed." Right. So again, these different locations. Okay. These different cities and whatnot. Okay. It says, "There shall be no more praise of Moab in Heshbon. They have devised evil against it. Come and let us cut it off from being a nation. Also, thou shalt be cut down, O madman. The sword shall pursue thee. A voice of crying shall be from Horonaim, spoiling and great destruction. Moab is destroyed. Her little ones have caused a cry to be heard." That's right. So, you know, these past and future prophecies, you know, these things that have taken place in the ancient world, yet that are soon to come. Okay. Ultimately, you know, it's these countries are gonna get taken down by YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. Okay. It's starting here with Babylon, America, man, during the third woe. Okay, in the valley of Yahawah, okay, the valley of Yahweh's decision. Okay, Yahweh's judgment. You know, and they're gonna come up against YAHAWASHI when he cracks those clouds with the holy angels, man. They're gonna come up against YAHAWASHI and Hamashiach.
That's right, man. And you're already hearing a lot of those cries of the little ones out there in Moab, you know, out there in China, you know, because of the state of dictatorship that's there, man. You know, a lot of these people were on lockdown for so long, you know, out there setting off flags, screams outside their buildings. You had a lot of them jumping out and committing suicide, man. You know, out there starving on lockdown, man, unable to leave their buildings. You know, they had the exits of their buildings fenced in, chained up, man. You know, people getting beat down for going outside, and that's part of those prophecies, man. The cryings of the little ones, you know, of Moab. You know, it being part of that state of destruction.
And these things are going to be coming to Babylon, America as well. You know, that's just that gradualism. These things that are taking place abroad. You know, there was those FEMA camps that were over in Australia at the beginning of this thing. Okay, and then ultimately, you know, there's going to be those same type of camps. I mean, there are actively right now. You know, same thing over in China, the land of Moab. You know, and yeah, man, it's ultimately going to come here to Babylon, America.
Yeah, man, and you know, the Most High, he's using them, you know, these other countries to come up against Babylon, vice versa, come up against each other, and he's just clearing a path for them just to destroy themselves, you know. You know, it's gonna be just clearing the way for when YAHAWASHI returns, like the brother Nathan mentioned, how they're gonna stop fighting out there in the valley of YAHAWASHI and start fighting YAHAWASHI, Archangel Michael, and the rest of the chariots, man, the angels, and they're gonna get destroyed in that day, man.
Yep.
But you know, the Most High, he's letting them sort of start taking out each other, leading up to that point.
Okay. Yeah. So there's Jeremiah 48:5. It says, "For in the going up of Luhith, says continual weeping shall go up. For in the going down of Horonaim, the enemies have heard a cry of destruction. Flee, save your lives, and be like the heath in the wilderness." Okay, so I believe a heath goes into like a plant.
Yeah, it says here in the annotation, a naked tree.
Okay, Khan, yeah, that's right, yeah, the Warak, yeah. So, yeah, man, so it says, "For because thou hast trusted in thy works and in thy treasures, thou shalt also be taken."
So, yeah, you know, it's part of that fleeing, man, fleeing with nothing, you know, a naked tree, you know, tree likened unto peoples, you know, naked being made bare, man, stripped with nothing.
Khan, that's right.
No possessions.
So it says, "And Sheshmash,
and that's kind of the spirit that these elites have, man. You know, Klaus Schwab was once quoted saying, "You will have nothing, you will own nothing, and be happy," or so to speak.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So that Jeremiah 48:7, the back end says, "And Sheshmash shall go forth into captivity with his priests and his princes together. And the spoiler shall come upon every city, and no city shall escape. The valley also shall perish, and the plain shall be destroyed, as the Lord YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI hath spoken." All right, man. So these different, you know, leaders and whatnot in these different, you know, areas, man. Ultimately, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna be destroyed, man. You know, a lot of these people, man, they're gonna get spoiled and whatnot, and then ultimately there's gonna be mass conflict and mass death, man. Because YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI is going to will that.
Okay. And it says, Shemash shall go forth into captivity with his priests and princes together. And yeah, that word Shemash, Shalakia, it's a Strong's. I'll go ahead.
Strong's H 3645.
Chemosh.
Chemosh, the water
And
bird.
that goes into subduer, a national deity of the Moabites and a god of the Ammonites, also identified with Baal Peor and Baalzebub, Mars and Saturn.
Kind of. There you go. So just another idol, man. That idolatry, man. You know, these worshippers of pagan gods and whatnot. Yeah, man. So we're gonna go back into Jeremiah 48:9. It says, "Give wings unto Moab, that it may flee and get away, for the cities thereof shall be desolate, without any to dwell therein." That's right, man. So these places, man. Again, these prophecies that have not only taken place in the ancient world, but also that will come to pass in the future. You know. So it says Jeremiah 48:10 says, "Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord, YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood." Right, man. So for those who are prophesying and those who are attempting to do the work of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, okay, and those who are transgressing and going against the will of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, okay, those are ultimately, those who are not doing the will of the Heavenly Father, man, keeping your sword back from blood, even with this word, this is, a double-edged, sharper than any two-edged sword, this word, man. Sent to Hebrews 4:12.
Yeah, man, you can't be teaching part of the truth. You gotta be teaching the whole truth, man. It's not gonna be to make friends, to be at peace with everybody. No, this word is an offense to most, man. But hey, the truth is the truth, man. Man, you can't twist it around to make it smooth or pleasant to those that you want it to be pleasant to. That goes into that friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High, man. Can't be out here trying to butter things up, speaking smooth sayings deceitfully, man. The Most High, he's gonna spew you out, man.
That's right. Also pursuant to Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, speaking of those spirits of vengeance and those those that are to do the will of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, man, they're not going to transgress his word. Okay, they're going to do what they were meant to do. Just like those who don't have the Thawa, man, okay, that mark of exemption, man, they're going to get taken out by YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, man.
We have to endure this thing just like Yahawashi, man. We have to be hated of all men for his name's sake, man. And what does the scripture say? Because I tell you the truth, you become my enemy.
Am I become your enemy?
Am I become your enemy?
Because I tell you the truth. Yeah, that's it. This is Jeremiah 48:11. It says, "Moab hath been at ease from his youth, and he hath settled on his lees, and hath not been emptied from vessel to vessel. Neither hath he gone into captivity. Therefore his taste remained in him, and his scent is not changed." That's right. So that term lees going into like dregs, settling for the bottom of the barrel, if you will.
That bottom of the wine, yeah.
Yep. And yeah, man, there's not only of the in a what's the word I'm looking for? Not only personified, you know what I mean, in Salakia, I'm thinking of a particular word that's slipping my mind. But anyways, even physically, when it comes to eating, for instance, they're willing to eat everything, man. Sea roaches, man, they're willing to eat anything, man. They overconsume things like whale blubber and all kinds of other stuff, man. They're constantly eating abominable food, man, and going off. So I mean, just a lot of things, man. So ultimately, man, yeah, they're willing to do a lot of grimy stuff, man, if you will. Okay, and neither have they done it.
And yeah, that's what they've been used to, man. They've been grown accustomed to being comfortable in that, man. Whether it be living in those tiny little boxes, man. A lot of Moab working these strenuous days, man. Working 18-hour days and whatnot, man. A lot of them dying young because of this.
Kind of. And that term says that therefore his taste remained in him. I believe that term taste also goes into understanding, right? So they think the same way, they maintain that same approach to everything, and his scent is not changed, right? So there's not a whole lot of change in them, man.
Yeah, because everyone's scared to speak out, man. Scared to speak up. There's no ability to do so, man, to make that change.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. Jeremiah 48:12. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, YAHWASHI, that I will send unto him wanderers that shall cause him to wander, and shall empty his vessels, and break their bottles. And Moab shall be ashamed of Chemosh, as the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel, their confidence. Okay, so they're ultimately going to be broken, man. Okay, as our people have turned against YAHWASHI, the house of the Most High. Okay, you know that their own people, man. They're going to go against their deities, man. Their idol gods and whatnot. Okay, they're going to be broken because YAHWASHI is ultimately going to prove that He's the one true living God, man.
Con. And they'll be ashamed of their idols, man. You know, talking about Moab, and that was just as a lot of the Israelites were ashamed of their the wicked priests and people that were in power back then, man.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, verse Jeremiah 48:14,
and that goes into cursed be he that doth the work of the Lord deceitfully. Ties right in with it, man.
That's right. Yeah, the water. That's it. Yeah, Jeremiah 48:14. How say ye, we are mighty and strong men for the war? All right. So again, that's what they're saying to this very day. You know, they thinking themselves to be mighty. You know, they have a large army. They have a lot of weapons. You know, hypersonic missiles, ICBMs, and whatnot. Okay, so they have a lot of things at their disposal. Okay, especially because they have you know, oppressed and you know, their own people to make sure and will that, you know, that authoritarian state. You know, they make sure that they do everything to put that military, and again, you know, that happens here too in Babylon, you know, but they're willing to do it to an extreme level to make sure that they've, you know, and they've done so, you know, since becoming you know, rich, if you will, you know, them merchants, man, getting rich off of Babylon America with all those exports, man. You know, they really built themselves up militarily. Okay, so Jeremiah 48:15, Moab is spoiled and gone up out of her cities. His chosen young men are gone down to the slaughter, saith the king, whose name is the Lord YAHWASHI, the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies.
Con. And Moab has a lot of that same pride that Esau does, man. You know, you know, didn't Esau deal with the daughters of Moab in the ancient times? You know, having offspring with Moab.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, man. But yeah, do you think about it just as the cities are in Moab, man? You know, these high rises. You know, they exalt themselves high in the clefts of the rocks, so to speak, by building their infrastructure, their buildings in the same types of ways as you see in New York and whatnot, and Shanghai being a similar type of built city to New York, you know, the capital of commerce there in China, and a lot of those things are resembling to Esau, man. You know, Moab, even here in Babylon, man, you see Moab, he tries to be just like Esau.
God, that's right. That's right, man. Yeah, this is finished up here. Jeremiah 48:16 says, the calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hasteth fast. That's right, man. So it's gonna come quick, man. When YAHWASHI, you know, flips the script, man. When that part of the movie comes into play. All right.
Con, and you see that calamity has already began there, man. You know, that's why they're always the first with everything, man. You know, you got those Esau with his gain of function labs out there, man. You know, you got them dealing with that you know, that QR codes and passports to be able to go on public transits, go into the bank, man. And they recently had a big problem with that, you know, that system kind of glitching. Yeah,
so there's a lot of those things that are coming to Babylon America.
And they have that, you know, that Skynet sort of thing already set up out there, man. You know, mass surveillance.
I don't want to have to get a lesson in on that, you know, because I got some things fired up, man.
But that calamity of Moab is near to come. It's here, man. And that calamity going into distress, man. Burden.
That's right, man. So a lot of distress, man. A lot of things are going to be, you know, disquieted, like as the scriptures mention, you know. and be put to shame.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, man. That's gonna come quick, like I said, man. Cometh very quick. You know, they're thinking themselves to be in a good case now.
Yeah, you want me to bring something out?
I'm going to get the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, start at verse 8. It says, thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, power, because that Moab and Seir do say, behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen.
Kind of, and just like we were talking about, that's the spirit.
Yep.
Moab and Esau, man, being similar to each other and whatnot, man. And Esau dealing with the daughters of Moab back then, and Seir, that's talking about Esau, man.
Yep, exactly, Mount Seir, you know, which is in the land of Edom. So exactly, right. And it says, I'll repeat that, because that Moab and Seir do say, behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen. So again, them both taking that stance against the tribes of Israel, beginning with the head tribe, okay, the tribe of Judah, right? So taking that, saying, you know, and they've done what they can, you know, to the very best of their ability to keep our people in a lower state, all right? To keep us in a shameful state in the eyes of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI.
Con.
You know?
Hey, that reminds me of, I'm going to bring it out. This is precept to back that up. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2:16. Reads, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He is abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father.
That's right, man. Hey, that's beautiful, man. That's right. And that's exactly what Esau's doing, because he despises his birthright after he sold it. You know, he sold that birthright to his twin brother Jacob, and after that he despised it. He wanted to slay his brother.
And he calls himself a Jewish man, and thinks that they are the Israelites and whatnot, man. You know, tries to come out with that lie. And really, you know, we know that we are the children of the Most High, man.
That's right. That's right. It's like that love-hate relationship, right? Because they hate the fact that they sold it, right? They hate their birthright, yet they still pretend to be the people, man. They claim themselves to be the people of the children of the Lord.
I'm gonna read up just a little bit. I bring that up. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2:13. It says, he professeth to have knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord, the Adawan. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like another man's. His ways are of another fashion.
Woo! That's right, man. So they're claiming to know the Most High. That's why they claim to be godly, you know, holier than thou, as the scriptures say, you know. They think themselves, you know, to be those, you know, the small hatters, right? Okay, those little hatters, the Amalekites, all right? Amalek being the grandson of Esau, okay? They think themselves that they can continue to try to do what they can to try to gain that birthright back, man. But at the end of the day, that's done, man. That transaction was done, man. And the blessing was given to our forefather Jacob. All right, so they're gonna try to do everything they can to shame our people, to keep us in a lower state, keep us going off.
And we know that we are the children of the Most High, because we're the ones that are keeping his ways, you know, keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, man. We're the ones that calling upon the true names, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, man. We're the ones that are suffering these curses due to Deuteronomy 28, man. You know?
That's right.
So, you know, we know through the Spirit, man, that we are the children of the Most High.
That's right.
And our ways are to be separate from this world, man. You don't see, you see Esau, man. He's a complete dog, man. He's filthy, you know?
That's right, man. Yeah, as is Moab, man. But again, in these days to come, all right, we're gonna see the, you know, Lord willing, Adon Rathaziah would be of that number, man. To see the downfall, to be a part of that elect number, man. All right, to be, you know, doing the will of the Heavenly Father, the only begotten Son under King David in the tabernacle of David.
Kind. And yeah, man. So really, that scripture there is, you know, the Wisdom of Solomon 2. That's like that double-edged sword, man. You know.
That's right. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Yeah, so this
we're to separate from the ways of the heathen, the ways of Esau of Edom, the ways of this world, the fashions of this world, and we have our own ways, our fashions to be according to the Most High, man. You know?
Yeah, that's right. And so I'm gonna I go back to Ezekiel 25 and this is verse 9. It says, "Therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from the cities, from his cities which are on his frontiers, the glory of the country, Salakia, I don't want to butcher these, Beth-Eshimoth, Baal-Meon, and Kiriathaim." Okay, so different cities of Moab, right? Okay, going to be opened up, man. They're going to get exposed by YAHAWASHI. It says, verse 10 says, "Unto the men of the east with the Ammonites, and will give them in possession, that the Ammonites may not be remembered among the nations. And I will execute judgments upon Moab, and they shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI." That's right, so again, conflict, okay, and ultimately, those that have taken place in the past, in the ancient world, okay, but prophecies to come, okay, and ultimately these nations being brought down from power, man. And again, like the Panama mentioned earlier, man, those crowns being, ultimately placed where rightfully so amongst, the top of our Lord and Savior's head, man. Hamashiach Yahushua.
Yeah, I think you brought that out of camp, right? Upon his head, wearing many crowns.
Oh, kind.
Yahushua.
That's right. Yeah, kind. Man, the one, man. Exactly.
Wearing a blood-dipped vesture.
That's right. That's right. I believe that's the book of Revelation. Yeah, chapter, was it 19, 18? So like, yeah, I don't want to misquote that, but yeah, it's the book of Revelation.
I think it might be 19.
Yeah, kind. So going back into this now, this is Ezekiel. Actually, real quick, you want to grab Ezekiel 21. Get 28 through 32, Baba Kasha.
Yeah, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 21, verse 18. Reads, "The word of the Adawan, Yahweh, came unto me again, saying, Also thou son of man, appoint thee 2 ways, that the sword of the king of Babylon may come. Both twain shall come forth out of one land, and choose thou a place, choose it at the head of the way to the city. Appoint a way that the sword may come to Rabbath of the Ammonites, into Judah in Jerusalem the defenced." Yeah, it's Ezekiel 21, right?
Yeah, kind.
Yeah,
kind.
Salakia, did I start at the right spot?
No. I think I may have. No, okay, no, you got it, bro. No, I think I may have gotten it wrong.
Salakia.
Yeah, Salakia, bro. No, you got that, man. Yeah, that's my bad, bro. I must have wrote that down wrong. Salakia, bro.
It's all right. We'll jump back into that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna jump back. Yeah, Salakia, folks. So there's just a little clerical error here on my part.
Oh, you know what? I started at the wrong spot. I think it's 28, right? Yeah. Salakia. This is Ezekiel 21 and 28, and it reads, "And thou, son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Adawan, Yahweh, concerning the Ammonites and concerning their reproach. Even say thou, the sword is drawn, for the slaughter is furbished to consume because of the glittering." That's right, man. So prophesy and concerning the Ammonites, concerning their reproach. The sword is drawn and it's furbished, it's made ready to consume because of the glittering, man. And that glittering is also likened unto missiles, man, onto bombs, that warhead. And you saw that with Ammon, back in World War II, man, with, Japan being hit with the atom bomb, 2 of the atom bombs, destroying the whole land, man, you know, leaving a desolation there for many generations, man. You know, you had people that were born with they were born with disfigurations, their children's children, and that is that's part of that glittering, man. So we've seen that come to pass. And it says, this is Ezekiel 21 and 29, whilst they see vanity unto thee, whilst they divine a lie unto thee, to bring thee upon the necks of them that are slain, of the wicked, whose day is come, when their iniquity shall have an end. It says, shall I cause it to return into his sheath? I will judge thee in the place where thou wast created, in the land of thy nativity. So yeah, man, that's bringing upon their necks of them that are slain. You know, that's pretty much Esau gaining power and control over the Ammonites ever since that World War II. Like we were just mentioning earlier, you know, them having military bases, them having the Japanese president attend these NATO meetings, the G7 summit. And that's because he has Esau has him by the neck still, man, you know. And it says, of the wicked, whose day is come, when their iniquity shall have an end. So Esau, the wicked, he's at his end right now, and you know, his iniquity shall have an end, and whoever he has power and control over in regards to the countries that he's established his power over, he's gonna bring them down with him in his fall. And I'm gonna continue here with Ezekiel 21 and 31. And it says, and I will pour out mine indignation upon thee, I will blow against thee in the fire of my wrath, and deliver thee into the hand of brutish men and skillful to destroy. And that's right, man. These Russians, man, they're very brutish, man. Skillful to destroy. You know, they've been training for many years, man. They have the arsenal, the technology. You know, Esau ain't ready for it, man. You know, the Gog has been raised up, you know, by the Most High to come against Esau, man, and whoever is following him, man. You know, even though Gog is you know, he is a descendant of Esau, you know, he's using them to destroy each other, man. You know, and that's part of that destruction, man. That's part of the indignation of the Most High, you know. That's the fire of his wrath, being those missiles, man.
That's right.
It says, thou shalt be for a fuel to the fire, thy blood shall be in the midst of the land, thou shalt be no more remembered, for I, the AHTHA, have spoken it. And that ties in perfectly to the book of Job, man. So being, he shall not be, what is that, Job 18? He shall not be remembered, you know?
Yeah, so maybe 820. Salakia, I think it's
Salakia.
Yeah, the book of Job. Yeah, man. Exactly. Yeah, maybe.
But
Job
yeah,
20.
man, he'd be chased away as a dream, you know?
Khan. That's right.
Khan.
That's right.
And yeah, man, so, you know, the Most High, he's gonna judge Esau of Edom, man, you know?
That's right. But yeah, man, so as this judgment has already come upon Ammon, you know, in the land of, you know, Japan, as you know, in World War II, you know, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know, those nukes getting dropped and whatnot. Okay, that's just a sample. That's just a sample taste, man, of what's to come, man. In these judgments, man. You know,
exactly, man. Because America, they're gonna get it, man. You know, all the elements shall melt with fervent heat. You know, that nuke, you know, that nuke's gonna be much more powerful this time around, man. Those hypersonic missiles, to where this whole land will not be inhabited, man. and forever, man. And you know, the Most High, he's talking in Ezekiel 21:30, saying, "Shall I cause it to return into his sheath?" So, you know, just like he mentioned it in 2nd Esdras, you know, what does it say? The plagues that I have sent, who shall return them unto where I've sent them? You know, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah.
You know, it's saying once the arrows are shot from the ends of the world, they shall not be turned back.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
You know, who shall cause it to return to his sheath, man? The Lord has already set forth that judgment, man, and there's no coming back from it.
Yeah, it's like folks had a little hiccup here with my tablet here, so that's why I had to run and get my sword. It's lucky for that. But you know, just to kind of tie into that, I know you referenced it earlier from Insider Paper. It says report the Japanese Prime Minister, Fumio Kishida, said, this is last week on the 15th, 2022 of June. Saying that he will attend this month's NATO summit in Madrid, in Spain, right? So it says, that he's gonna attend there. And this is the country's first leader to join a top meeting of the Transatlantic Alliance. All right, so, you know, these, it says Japan, a key U.S. ally and not a NATO member, has delivered defensive supplies to Ukraine and imposed tough sanctions on Russia in tandem with other groups.
So therefore, the U.S. has made Japan marked in the eyes of Russia, because anybody that's helping Ukraine, in Russia's eyes, they're counting as an enemy. So
that's right. Now
the blood is on Esau's hands for what Japan's gonna have to deal with, man.
That's right. Yeah, this is quote unquote as the it says right here as the
and that's part of Salaki. That's part of the whole saying that even though they aren't part of the UN, the NATO, the beast system, that the beast shall hate the whore, because all these other countries that are closer to you know, Russia and China moving westward, they're gonna taste the sword before Babylon, man.
That's it. So it says right here, quote unquote, as the only Asian country in the G7, Japan's diplomatic capabilities are being tested. It says his attendance at the NATO summit will be, quote unquote, the first time for a Japanese prime minister. And it goes on to say, I myself have a strong sense of urgency that Ukraine today may be East Asia tomorrow. That's right, man. So, you know, as you see these conflicts with Moab in the Taiwanese Strait, the you know, everything that's going on with Taiwan, hey, they're fearing, you know, hey, this is gonna spill over. This could be Japan next. All right, so like the Aquanaut just said, you know, anyone who's affiliated, they're gonna be affiliated with that beast. They're gonna be affiliated with that whore, Babylon America, the mother of harlots. Hey, they're gonna get it too, man. They're gonna be lined up. They say, you partaking in this? Well, I'm sure Russia's keeping close tabs on that. Say, we got you too, man. We got you too. So, amen, man. Hey,
and they said that it'll be East Asia soon.
He's saying, the Prime Minister of Japan saying, we fear that what is Ukraine today may be East Asia tomorrow. So,
and that's because of you know, even though Russia is spearheading the thing militarily, them partnering with Moab, China wants to be the head of it still. They want to claim that they're the ones that are in power and control because they're the ones that are funding it. You know, they're saying, hey, you know, I'm backing it. I'm paying for the thing, even though you're steering the ship. I'm paying for it. So I want to have my name on it. You know?
Exactly. Man. So, exactly. They're both trying to be that one superpower, you know, when it comes between Russia and China, man. So they're gonna pair up, they're gonna team up, but ultimately, man, you know, they both have the same idea that they're gonna try to one up each other in the end. So, you know, but we'll throw water for that, brother. And I'm gonna go back into Ezekiel chapter 25, and this is verse 11. I'll repeat that. It says, and I will execute judgments upon Moab, and they shall know that I am the Lord, YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI. Thus saith the Lord power, YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Right? So again, Edom, out of Wam, the red man, Idumea, Mount Seir, right? Okay, the so-called, the self-proclaimed white man, that's the red man that the Bible speaks of. The devil, the devil the Bible speaks of, all right? And because he had taken, okay, vengeance, man, and then revenged himself upon, you know, the children of Israel, man, beginning with the head tribe of Judah, okay? The 12 tribes, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay, they dealt this way against the house of Judah, okay? So going on into Ezekiel 25:13, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, power, YAHAWASHI, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. Sorry, man. So, you know, these Temanites, you know, the city of Teman, I believe, also going into a place where silver was traded. Okay? And
those scriptures also speak of the wise men of Teman. And a lot of those are the modern day Edomites, man. You know, a lot of them are descendants of German. They mention that Teman are, the wise men of Teman are descendants of the Germans. You know, because those are some of the smartest Edomites out there, man. You know, that's why they had the whole Nuremberg trials, and they pardoned so many of those Germans out there. You know, because they're the ones that created and engineered, you know, the whole Babylonian empire. Yeah, but those wise men of Teman, man, they are the so-called Germans, and a lot of them, you know, were pardoned. And you saw that they created NASA, you know, spearheaded NASA. What was his name? Warner von Braun. Yeah, man. And you've got a lot of these elite Edomites, you know. You'll see their name is a German. It has a Germanic touch to it, man. You know,
that's right.
Even the modern day Yiddish has a Germanic root to it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, the water for that, man. Yeah, so exactly. Yeah, the wise man of Teman. Yeah, I believe that's also in the scriptures, man. So exactly, like Doc said, you know, a lot of those scientists after the Nuremberg trials, after World War II, were more or less split up, if you will. You know, a lot of them ended up in Russia. A lot of them ended up in America. You know. So, yeah, man, definitely developing NASA, like Doc said, you know, so on and so forth, man, that great quote-unquote space race, all right, between who? The Russians and the Americans, all right? So, finishing up here in Ezekiel chapter 25 and verse 14, it says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. Okay, my people, right? So, who's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man? That's YAHAWASHI, okay? So, the children of Israel, okay? Those are the chosen people of the Most High, YAHAWASHI, my people, okay? So again, it says, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power, YAHAWASHI.
That's right.
That's right, man. They're going to know that power, man. They're going to know what it is. All right, so now my people, man, beginning with the elect. All right,
that's right, man. And we pray, you know, that we're those first turn hunters, man. You know, hunting out those elite Edomites, hiding out in their doomsday bunkers. You know, hiding underground and whatnot, man. To, you know, or those that flee Babylon, hiding elsewhere, overseas, man. That the elect are gonna hunt them down, man. You know, dig them out of their holes, man. Dig them out of their, you know, their hiding spots and slay them, man. Alongside YAHAWASHI, man. Alongside YAHAWASHI and the angels, man.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, just, you know, holding anything else like that?
That's it, Aki.
All right, man. So, you know, Lord willing, this will be edifying, comforting, exhorting to the hopeful elect of Israel. I just want to bring out some articles tied into the scriptures. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. And as always, first and foremost, we're going to turn to the east and give all honor, glory, and praises unto our power.
Yahawah,
BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. And we want to give double honors to the head apostles, to the elders, bishops, and teachers of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well across the four winds with sound doctrine, to the like-minded brothers, the Akim, who are under the umbrella, pushing this truth and sincerity all in one word. Shalom. Peace be unto you and your households. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the house of David. All right, keep enduring. All right, keep pushing for YAHAWASHI.
That's right.
And the Most High bless you and your households. All right, the Akim and the Aqua tune in. Shalom.
YAHAWASHI, Brakatham.
YAHAWASHI, Brakatham. The curse on Babylon.
Abad Babal.
Abide Baba, Abide Baba, DTA, soon.
YASHARAHLA.
YASHARAHLA. Shalom.